The Tipping Point with Mike Tipton is brought to you by Dubby. What is Dubby? Dubby is a clean energy drink that is made to give you focus with no crash, jitters, or angst like those other energy drinks have. They also have no maltodextrin fillers and don't use artificial dyes. Dubby contains vitamins, amino acids, a nootropic, and 150 milligrams of caffeine. Dubby's products are made in the USA in an FDA-inspected facility that strictly adheres to GMP manufacturing guidelines. All of the flavors are unique and custom-made by Dubby, and you'll never taste our taste anywhere else. The best part about it is they're affordable. Dubby's drinks come out to about $1 per drink, much cheaper than Starbucks or any of those canned energy drinks. To learn more, visit w.gg.com/discount/MRTipton33 and place your order today. Use promo code MrTipton33 and save today. Dubby Energy, be better. What's going on, everybody? I want to tell you about my new friends over at Cleverman. Visit them online at becleverman.com. What they gave me was the energizing face and beard scrub along with the Cleverman face scrubber. And trust me when I say this, the energizing face and beard scrub smells amazing. Combining it with the face scrubber, making sure that your boy was looking as good and sexy as possible, opened up a whole different sensation in my face that I haven't ever felt before. I felt so clean, so fresh, and so clean, like Outcast said, and it helped me feel like I was ready for my day. Make sure you visit them online at becleverman.com and follow them on Instagram at clevermannyc. The link is up in my bio if you want to check out all the amazing products they have. Visit them online, becleverman.com. It is time for the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton on a Friday. It's a TIP VIP Friday. I got my dude Agustine Pimentel hanging out with us here on the show today. A lot of stuff that we want to talk about. But Agustine, how have you been? It's been a long time. It's been a while since we were able to do a show together. I know you missed me because you kept calling me. It was weird that one time you were outside my house just, with the radio up in the air like a 1980s movie. That was a little weird, but you know what? I appreciate it.
It's cool that I still have that boombox where
I'm surprised it still works.
I was surprised too when my ears popped in the whole thing. But anyway, I know we talked a little before the show and everything, and when the music came on, I was actually nervous again. I was telling myself, "Wow, we're back! Wow." Tipton is not that responsible anymore. Then I saw you were at work, and then I told myself, "Wow, the Cowboys still suck."
Yeah, that'll be the case. The draft will happen. I'll get hope. You know how it is in the off season for me. The season ends. I don't care about football. The draft happens. I start getting hope because I'm like, oh, the Dallas Cowboys, they draft really well. Then they do nothing in free agency. And I get upset about that. The season starts. I'm like, they're going to be undefeated. They play one game, and I'm like, the season's already lost. Like, that's just the way that I go with the roller coaster of emotions with the Dallas Cowboys. So, there's so much more to talk about other than the Cowboys. But I love the fact that you were the one to bring them up first on the show.
I love bringing back heartbreak. and the thing is, the day before yesterday, I was stuck in an elevator. It kind of got stuck in the middle of the third and fourth floor. It's an old elevator, so we knew something like that was going to happen. It's being changed, hopefully. But I got stuck in there with a 49ers fan.
Gross.
and and he started talking about, hey, football, and I go, please don't, please don't, and
Like anything but that. Anything but that.
anything but that, because he was wearing a 49ers polo and those real nice. I gotta give props to the NFL for that. Those real nice black NFL caps that have the logo in front, but not really out there. You can tell it's a team, but you can be wearing it for stuff. And he said, "Yeah, this year's our year." And I said, "Where have I heard that before?" And I told him, I've heard that a lot from Cowboy fan. The thing is, I've heard it more from you for a year longer than they have. And he just went off the rails. He said,
Of course he did.
"No, it's the officiating. They're against us." And when he started saying us, I just went, "Oh, Agustine, you've opened Pandora's box with this guy." And it was absolutely beautiful to watch for the next 4 minutes when the elevator just started working again. The amount of ludicrous beliefs that some fans have that the NFL's against them, that that the refs get together and say, "Oh, we're going to have this outcome to this game." That's just, for me, as a fan, my goodness gracious me. It just, it's sports. It's anything that can happen. It's that's why we love it. And all sports. I mean, to me, that was just one of those things that I went, uh-oh. And, and it was just beautiful to watch. I wish I had recorded. I wish I would have taken out my phone and, could you do that again?
I love the way that story went, because we had someone tune in right now. They're like, no narratives. They say, let's turn up. I'm a new guy. You continue talking. And they're like, never mind. They left. They just completely abandoned that entire story. Zero patience from people these days, man.
Like, I guess he's a 49er fan.
Maybe he was one you were stuck in the elevator with. Tommy was saying that he hopes you get stuck with that guy again, but that guy has gas. That's what Tommy was saying. I want to give a shout out to our person, Ken Jari, who tuned in over there in the Philippines. Shout out, Ken Jari. Hope that you're having a good time today. Okay, so all 49ers gassy fans stuck in an elevator aside, nothing makes me angrier than fans trying to blame the outcome of a game on officiating. There's so much more that happens as opposed to just, oh, the referees were trying to screw us. No, like trust me, the referees, yes, they play a part of the game. Yes, they can make mistakes. But if it takes one call for your team to be screwed, your team shouldn't have been there in the first place.
There are some calls, though, that you go,
Like what? Like what?
Like a pass interference that should have been called a pass interference. Like a catch that was a catch. Like a catch that was a catch.
Yes, I agree with that aspect of it, right? Like there are some times where like they get the call wrong. But again, like even whenever it comes down to that Dez Bryant catch, the Dallas Cowboys had 2.5 minutes left. They could have stopped Aaron Rodgers. Like had their defense played, they could have stopped Aaron Rodgers. They could have done something, right? Even back to like that pass interference that we're talking about with the Rams and the Saints, there was a full ass overtime after that they could have played, that they did play, that the Saints did nothing in, right? Like there's a bad call. Very rarely does it end the game. I guess this year in the World Baseball Classic, that curveball that missed by 1.5 feet that they called a strike against the Dominican Republic, like that one maybe, but very rare does it come down to the very last call of the game being what determined the game.
Yeah, no, completely agreed. But that umpire is now living in the States next to Trump. So
it was rigged. It was a rigged World Baseball Classic. We love the World Baseball Classic. Tommy's reminding us that Dez caught it. He did, but he didn't. I think I broke Agustine.
It's just, It's just funny to me that, and I understand the fandom because I'm a fanboy sometimes. And
Sometimes.
well, I mean, me showing up at your house half naked does not come into the
Yeah.
play, please.
Yeah.
But I mean, some calls, even if even if you're the fan of the opposing team, you're going, yeah, no, you know.
I mean, yeah, there's always that aspect of it, like where your team got away with the bad call, but how many times does your team get away with the bad call and then your team commits the bad call? Like to me, it always evens out, and as long as you have
My Patriots never. We always get the good calls.
the good calls and the deflated balls, that's what we're going to call your biography.
Good thing you didn't say good calls and my deflated balls, which would have been worse.
My good calls, my deflated balls. The Augustine Pimentel story.
From rags to riches story.
From cum rags, maybe.
Wow.
Off the top rope. We just had to do it today. That's
Dude,
what we're doing it, man.
You're just like a San Diego Padre fan. I don't know what gives off that vibe.
Oh, I've been a lifelong San Diego Padres fan, all the way back to Tony Gwynn and Trevor Hoffman and various other players that have played for the Padres in the past.
and since they actually signed that thing anyway, no, but this is a question for everybody. If anybody can answer this, I would be really thankful. Why is baseball America's pastime when baseball is not even the most popular sport in the U.S.?
Because
I
for
understand.
a century it was.
Just because something's been going on for a long time doesn't mean it's a good thing.
I mean, so you got to remember, right? Like they've been playing baseball in some form or fashion since 1835. So we go all the way with that, like professional baseball since 1869. No other league has been around that long. And without the expansion of baseball, where like the Dodgers and the Giants came to like the West Coast, that expansion of teams like NBA teams, NFL teams to the West Coast probably wouldn't have happened either. So like baseball being the national pastime is partly because one, it was around when there was nothing, right? Like it was the only game around, so people loved going to it. But it also has that history of like if we didn't expand, no one else probably would have expanded. They were the first ones to like try out LA, try out San Francisco, come over to the western part of the United States because and you can still see it now with like all the sports leagues. How many teams do you have in just like that New England, New York, Mid Atlantic area where for every league there's a ton of teams out there, right? I mean, hell, I think the furthest west Minnesota was, or not Minnesota, hockey was Detroit, right? Like that's nowhere near the West, but we look at that as like, oh, that was awesome that they had like the Red Wings were this amazing team back in the day, and the same thing with like the NFL. Like prior to having a team in, I guess LA, like the Rams, right? But they weren't originally in LA. Like they moved out to LA. So like it took like that long time, and I think that's what it is, right? Like the nostalgia of it all. That's why it's your pastime. Like it opened the doors for these leagues to become what these leagues became.
Yeah, I understand all that, but with so many options in the last 50 years, with the NBA being what it was, because let's face it, the NBA is having some problems there with viewership and with all that, but football being the king, I mean American football, not soccer, Tommy. It's hard for me to call something America's pastime where really it plays when it's the only show in town. I mean,
Well, so you also have to look at it like from this aspect of it, right? Like even though the NFL is king now. It wasn't always king. And it wasn't until like the 90s that the NFL started getting the deals that they've got now, right? Like we're not so far removed from the NBA finals and the Super Bowl being on tape delay, right? Like that was a thing. Like they weren't played live. I mean, I guess obviously they were played live, but on TV it was a rebroadcast of what had happened. Whereas baseball has always been like the World Series has always been live in some form or fashion, whether it was on radio, whether it was on TV. It was always some form or fashion, right? So for me, it's like it was that thing that happened in the 90s. I don't know what it was necessarily with football. I guarantee what it was with basketball. It was Michael Jordan making basketball a global game, right? But baseball from, again, 1869 until the 1990s was king. And even in the 90s was holding its own, right? Now we're starting to see the resurgence of like college football to where college football might be number two compared to the NFL. But hell, that's a 15-year-old thing, right? And even now, I feel like the momentum college football had is already starting to like plummet a little bit.
Yeah, and college football is being destroyed by the NIL. There's no
Yeah.
question that the NIL and this thing they've got going with the amount of money these players are making at the college level, it's just preposterous. It's idiocy. It's lunacy. It's dumb. It was a dumb move, but they opened Pandora's box. They opened it. They will not be able to close it. And for everybody out there, I mean, should an 18-year-old be making what some of these salaries that some of these kids are making? And just, you know,
I mean, I don't like it, but you're going to make whatever people are willing to pay you. You know
hey,
what I mean? Like,
hey, be quiet. My boss is listening.
but I mean, like, so I look at athletes and I say, okay, well, if we don't like NIL, right? And this is again just me playing devil's advocate because I'm not a fan of the NIL. I think it has ruined college sports to some certain extent. But if we're going to get upset about NIL, then we also need to get upset about child actors, child, singers, like things like that as well. Because why are they entitled to make money, but athletes aren't?
Well, the child actors and stuff that they usually have a parent or a caretaker. That's I think that's one of the things that's different. But these are
But
not
I mean,
kids.
how many times have we also heard of the parent or caretaker taking well advantage of what was being made by that young person? So
Hey,
it's not
stop talking
it's
about the
not
Foley.
like and it's to me it's like it's not so much whether it's the adult, like no matter how adult you are, people will find a way to like squander their money, right? Look at Floyd Mayweather. He made $1 billion as a boxer, but he can't pay $7 million in back taxes now. He's got to take all these extra events and stuff like that that's going on. So to me, it's like it doesn't necessarily matter the age or anything like that or the maturity level. It's you have such a small window to make that amount of money in sports that if it happens for you in high school, it should happen for you in high school. You should get paid to do that. I don't like it, but that is what capitalism is.
Yeah, true. But at the same time, everybody said that college athletes didn't get paid, and I mean they got paid the most important thing, which is a college education. That's you can get all the money in the world, but if you don't get a little bit of college in there, it's gonna go away pretty quickly. So I think it's a bad move. It was a bad move. And then the amount of money that is needed to be spent on a national championship side, which we all know who the national champions is this year because it was one heck of a game against UConn. But
Are
how
you
much
talking about basketball?
I'm talking about right now basketball, for example, because that's the most recent one we have in memory of a national champion, besides the UTEP dance team winning the national championship.
Yes.
But anyway, I mean, it was just their budget alone for basketball was about $14.5 million. Wow. $14.5 million for a college team. Not their whole NIL budget. Their basketball budget was 14.5 million, if I'm correct. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, nor, I
But I
mean,
mean, that's the way that it goes, right? But then like you look at other schools, like let's go, sticking in college with it with like Indiana. Indiana just won the national championship. They only had what 12 million in NIL versus like Texas Tech, who's out here spending 50, Texas that's spending 40, Bama that's spending like 30. So I mean, it doesn't necessarily matter how much money you spend on your roster. It matters about the construction of the roster still.
oh, don't tell that to our local president. No, please. Please don't tell that to Miss Heather Wilson. Please do not say that. It also comes to say that UTEP has $600,000 for NIL.
But I mean that's also for me, if you're going to make that investment, right? Like, because I was thinking about it, whenever you see the lottery numbers up at like 1 billion, you're always like, I wonder what I would do if I won the lottery and stuff like that. And I was like, I would donate obviously to my church and the things like that I've done. But then I think about, would I continue, like would I increase my donations for UTEP, right? And I sit there and I say to myself, I would like to, but I feel like I'd be alone on an island. And the money that I put in, I know I wouldn't get an ROI on. So it wouldn't be a good investment for me to do that. So to me, it's like, if you, it's a weird double-edged sword, right? The school has to be good to make you want to give money to it. But if it's bad, you don't want to put money into it because it's a bad investment. So for me, like UTEP's just stuck in that purgatory of, we've been bad for so long. We don't have a strong alumni base, which is wild because they kind of do if people actually thought about it. But they just don't have the hardcore type alumni base that Texas Tech has, that SMU has, that some of these other schools have that really care about the athletic departments.
And more than anything, that at least keep in touch. That's key right there. And I know we're gonna crucify some schools here because that's not just UTEP, that's other schools as well. That's and the thing is, it's how you treat your alumni. An email, maybe once a month. Don't make it once a week. Sometimes have your alumni association actually being part of the university, not being a pseudo organization outside the university would help. I know this is hitting home a lot, but there's schools out there that will not be able to compete at that level ever.
And I think that's a thing that we've been talking about for a while. At least I know, like I said that, over the next, I thought it would already be by now. So I was a little premature, a problem of my life, right? But
yeah,
I thought that we'd already have this breakup between the NCAA, like, big money making schools, the SEC, Big Ten, all that, and then the secondary schools, that second level of schools, which again, to me is still above UTEP, right? Like UTEP, I wouldn't say is that secondary. I think they're more of a tertiary tier, but like, I just, they have to have that separation in order to start giving those other schools an opportunity to become great. I know people are going to say, well, there's Division II in college football. I'm sorry, but I still want UTEP to be a Division I school because there's certain benefits that you get for being a D1 school. If you're a D2 school, like we would have the largest stadium by far of any D2 school. We have to continue to be a D1 school and figure out a way to sell out that stadium as much as possible. There are over, 2 million people in this vicinity, and you're telling me you can't get 54,000 out on a Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've said it before, and I'll keep saying it. When you have a school that has no community outreach, that's not involved in the community, just because they think they're UTEP, people need to support them. They've got a problem. I just went to see the Harlem Globetrotters up in Las Cruces. It was about 2 weeks ago. It was my son's birthday. Had a blast. Got to meet Larry Johnson Jr., who is the son of course, Larry Johnson and Al Heater. Great group, great guys that played for the Generals. Um, but when I was driving into Cruces, Las Cruces, New Mexico, there were flags of NMSU everywhere. There was a sense of ownership. There was a sense of this matters. I don't see that at UTEP, and I don't see UTEP doing some kind of program to to put a flag, let's say, on every business in El Paso. I see no, last 2 years ago, the basketball team did a practice in Ciudad Juarez where they sold out the gym, excuse me, the stadium, which was the University of Juarez stadium, packs about 6,000, and it was full. It was to capacity just to watch the miners practice. So, what's going on? I mean, I know it's a heavy question because this question can be said to a lot of mid-major schools that are underperforming, and we probably have one right here at UTEP that's been underperforming for a long time. But
I think it, like, again, like it all comes down to what have you done for me lately? Like that's always what it's going to be, especially whenever you're UTEP or New Mexico State, right? So we can look at New Mexico State. Had we gone to Las Cruces 10 years ago, those New Mexico State banners would not be flying all over the place, right? What have they done since then? They had an upset that they did in the NCAA tournament. They've habitually been in the NCAA tournament. They won a bowl game. They went to a bunch of bowl games as well within that decade, right? So now the fan base is getting excited about potential, about possibility. Whenever you look at UTEP, we were super excited about the beginning of the Scotty Waldron era for UTEP football, right? A lot of people were. A lot of people were very excited about that, right?
I remember.
But once the novelty of it all wore off and it comes down to what are the nuts and bolts that we've got that are going to make this thing work, the wheels fell off, right? Like this team hasn't been something that you want to write home about. We got excited about Al Golden being here. Look at what he did at Abilene Christian. He won a tournament game at Abilene Christian. You bring him here. What was my thought process here? Sure, he won the game at Abilene Christian. The 5 years prior, they had a losing season each time, right? So, like, to me, what we've been doing is going after like that hot hire, that thing that we think is going to catch lightning in a bottle so fast, and it's not the way to do it. If you want to, and again, like I hate some of the names that are out there, but if you're UTEP and you want to become relevant, why not spend a butt ton of money and bring in someone like Urban Meyer? Sure, you got a lot of baggage there, but you did that with Mike Price, and that to me was like the zenith of UTEP's relevance.
Yep.
Right. Like those first like 6 years that Mike Price was there, it was still all the bad stuff that surrounded him, but he was doing really well with UTEP. They were going to bowl. They didn't win a bowl game, but they went to bowl games. You know what I mean? Like they did these things. So why not like take a chance on a coach that's got some baggage that you know is going to be able to recruit? Like I would spend that money if I was UTEP. I'd find a way to spend that money if I was UTEP because hell, you might be able to like do something. I don't think you'd win a national championship. If you do, it might get vacated because you probably broke some rules somewhere. But as we've seen now, there are no rules anymore. You can do whatever the hell you want with NIL. So why not hire a coach that's got some baggage, spend a little bit of extra money, and then prove to us as the fans that you're actually investing in the product that you want us to invest in?
Yeah, Urban Meyer, please come to UTEP and show. Please. I mean, you can use the credit card wherever you want.
The Tipton Family Scholarship Fund is a good place that you could spend that credit card, Urban.
that would be a nice thing, right? But I think that goes for any school out there that's in the mess that NIL has created even more for college sports. And I'm all with you, Tip. And I think we talked about before that yes, there are some divisions out there that could even the last place of the Big Eight or whatever it's called now, the ACC, whatever their names are, even the last place could kick anybody's but almost anybody else.
Yeah,
I don't, you know.
I mean, like again, like I know it's like the European thing and all that stuff that we talk about here, but I think college football, especially the way that it's set up now with the amount of money that gets spent in college football, really lends itself to regulation and deregulation, right? Like let's say you're the most underperforming team in the Pac-12, right? I don't know the name off the top of my head, but you're just the most underperforming team in the Pac-12. Now you have a secondary conference, which would be like the Mountain West or whatever. The winner of the Mountain West replaces that horrible team that was at the bottom of the Pac-12. They just flip sides, and now you have more momentum. Now you're starting to get those smaller mid-major schools to give a damn about what it is that you're doing, right? You don't have to go all in. Maybe you just, I don't know, maybe you just give them a little bit of the tip.
I just want to put the tip in.
It's time for
Just a Tip.
That would make me uncomfortable.
Promise that it ain't too much, but just enough. Just a tip. Just a tip.
Just the tip. Just the tip.
It's time for Just the Tip.
The tipping point with my tip and just the tip is brought to you by myhappynuts.com. Go online right now, www.myhappynuts.com. Use promo code Mike Tipton. Save on all your male grooming needs. Do you want to look like me or do you want to look like Augustine? The fact of the matter is both of us have the happiest nuts in the world. And the reason why we do that is because of www.myhappynuts.com. Do you want to smell good? Then what you need to do is just slather yourself up into Big Wood body wash, and you can smell just like your boy. I smell fantastic all the time. www.myhappynuts.com. Promo code Mike Tipton at checkout and save on all your male grooming needs. That was a horrible segue.
You still keep a straight face during that whole thing.
That's where those acting classes came in handy.
Yeah. I guess NBC paid off.
All right, so okay, we spent a lot of time talking about UTEP, NIL, all that stuff.
Hey, Tip, one thing. Wouldn't it be funny that all of a sudden My Happy Nut says, wait a second, what's this order from the Philippines?
That would be great. I mean, I am down. And again, like I said, early on in the radio career where I had the number one podcast in Saudi Arabia, the number one sports podcast in Saudi Arabia. I mean, let's have the number one sports live stream in the Philippines. I'm down with it. Kenjari, the pressure's on you now. You got to make it. I got to become a celebrity, a pseudo celebrity in the Philippines. That's what's got to happen. Both of us. August, you're a Pimentel, so I mean, it works.
Yeah, you're the Buzz Adams of the Philippines.
I don't know about that. I was gonna say a joke, but I want to be nice. That's my guy. I got nothing but love for Buzz. But okay.
Yeah,
I were
do
talking,
too, but he can't be driving. Anyway, that's a very inside joke, people. I do apologize. Buzz, you know,
that's so good.
Buzz, you
that's
know,
so good.
But
my God,
you know, your buddies are gonna really give you crap about it.
Oh my God, that's good. Okay, we were talking about before we started the show. We were talking about some stuff with like basketball, right? Obviously, we're in the middle of the NBA play-in tournament. I believe the games are today between Orlando, and Charlotte to see who's going to be the number 8 seed, and then Phoenix and the LA Clippers to see who's going to be. No, it's not the Clippers. Warriors.
Warriors lost against
the Suns.
The Clippers lost against Golden State.
Yep, and that's what had us talking about this was the way that Steph Curry was able to come back from that strained calf injury, drop 35 on the Clippers' head like it was nothing. And again, the second Steph Curry is on fire, your team is done. I don't care who you are, they're done. And the way that he was able to come back from that injury, we started talking about it like it's wild that he's in his 17th season. And to me, it's kind of egregious that we don't talk about him as one of the greatest of all time. And again, I look at the mountain of people that we have to compare that to, right? You got your Michael Jordan, who I do believe is the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
You got LeBron James, Wilt Chamberlain,
Kobe,
Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe.
Kobe.
Yeah.
It's Michael and Kobe, and then you got everybody else vying for that 3 spot. It's Michael and Kobe. Wait, and the 3 spot is taken. Michael, Kobe, Larry Bird. To me, that's top 3.
You would put Larry Bird over Wilt Chamberlain?
Yes.
You would put Larry Bird over Shaq?
Yes.
Wow. I don't know about that. Like, I don't think I've ever made like my list of actual top 10. Like, if I have to think it through right now, obviously Jordan. I have to put LeBron there just because we'll never see another freak athlete like LeBron James on there. Kobe, I would have at 3rd. Wilt, I would have at 4th. Shaq at 5th. Tim Duncan at 6th. Magic at 7th.
If you got Magic at 7th, you put Bird at 8. Easy.
Yeah. 9 is where I start having like my trouble. And you know what? I'm gonna do it to make people mad. Nikola Jokic is number 9. Steph Curry is number 10.
Wow.
Again, dude, what Jokic is doing has never been seen before. It's a basketball playing jar of mayonnaise that's doing this.
If you're averaging a triple-double, I mean, what else can be said about Jokic? Yes, he looks low, but my favorite, and even I think he said it, that his favorite shot is that shot they took from behind him where he's going like, you know what shot I'm talking about. You absolutely know.
Again, the fact that he was able to hit that shot over Victor Wembanyama, who is like stretched out as far as he can and jumping in the air, and Jokic was still able to get that shot off, that weird-looking shot off. No, that's the most unguardable shot in the history of basketball.
Yeah, that kind of topped the Nowitzki shot. You know, that little ankle shot that he made, that, you know, lifting the ankle. That was just when I saw that, I needed to rewind and play, but I was watching it live and I was waiting for the replays and all that. I mean,
Tommy's saying Jordan, Kobe, and Dirk. I do believe Dirk needs to be. I don't think Dirk's top 10 though.
He's top 20. The thing is,
I'd say top 15. Top 15.
The thing for Dirk, what he did that one season, you know, in those playoffs, what he did, the teams he beat by himself.
Yeah.
I mean, I really have seen no other player go on to run that big. The way Dirk did it, that, you know, those 2-3 years where he was just unstoppable.
I mean, I sent an Instagram reel to Tommy. I want to say it was like Wednesday or something, where they were talking about that playoff run that Dirk had where he won the championship, where he beat the Portland Trailblazers. This is with a healthy Brandon Roy, a young LaMarcus Aldridge. Like, that was a really good team that was on the come up. Then they go in the second round and they sweep the LA Lakers, who had just won back-to-back championships. Swept the LA Lakers. Pau Gasol, Kobe Bryant. Like, that was a great team that the Lakers had right then. Then they go and they beat the Oklahoma City Thunder, who would go to the NBA Finals the next year. Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, James Harden. That was a great team. Beat them in 5 games, and then beat the brakes off of LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh to win an NBA championship. It was Dirk Nowitzki and like JJ Barea and Jason Terry and like nobody, just absolute nobodies. Dirk Nowitzki just out here dominating, absolutely dominating.
Yeah, when you're watching it at that time, I think you were just like me. You were just mesmerized after the fact. You were
Tommy's saying that Dirk is the greatest of all time. The fuck y'all talking about? My dude, you know I got nothing but love for you. Let's see if it does a little hard thing today. It doesn't. But
he's the greatest German
there's
player
no way.
ever. He's the greatest German player ever.
Detlef Schrempf would like a word.
I haven't heard Detlef Schrempf since the Utah.
Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder would like to throw his name into the ring. But yes, he is the greatest German player of all time. I would venture to say, no, I was going to say European player of all time, but that's Jokic. And then maybe Wembanyama. What Wembanyama's done in 3 years is insane too.
He hasn't won a championship though.
No, I don't think they'll win it this year, but they get better next year. They might. It's going to be so hard for them to win it this year, but they're so good defensively and they're so good like all around that they've given me hope. And you know that the worst thing to give me is hope. I'm just sitting here waiting for the bottom to fall off, man. I know it's going to happen in like the most painful way possible. It'll be Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals in triple overtime. That's how it's going to be for me. I've killed Agustine. This is the second time I've done it to him today.
No, and for you out there in the listening or watching audience, whenever Tipton takes off his glasses, you know he's going to get serious.
No, I have a migraine, and you can see right now the sun is coming through.
Oh.
So I'm trying, and then like I'm putting the glasses back on so I could win because I'm on my laptop. I don't have the big ass screen in front of me that I have at home, so I have to like squint like this if I want to read the comment. And I can't even read it like that because that's how blind I am. I should never be allowed to drive without my glasses.
And you look weird without them. So put them back on, please. There you go. There you go.
I look sexy without them. What are you talking about?
I don't know who that is. See, that's even scarier than your commercial.
I wanted to buy a pipe for this year's commercial.
No, that would be too creepy. That'll be too Brandon Cohn.
Tommy is saying that Dirk is better than the Joker. No, like Dirk is a much better. Well, I can't even say that, dude. Like whenever Jokic starts shooting, he's really good too. We were just talking about that unstoppable. It's again, it's all the way back here. That's where he releases it from. How on God's green earth can you stop that thing? It's wild, man. But like rebounding, assists, Joker has that on Dirk all day. He's the only player in NBA history that's led the league in both rebounding and assists in the exact same season. We've never seen that before. We're 100 years deep into this league. We've never seen that before.
We saw some of the we saw some of that with Arvydas Sabonis back in the day. Remember that he had that vision. He had kind of like that smarts, but I think the NBA got Arvydas when he was a little bit older, a little more. If Arvydas Sabonis would have been in the league from day one, that would have been scary as well. Because even when he was pudgy, oh my goodness gracious, could that boy play?
Yeah. Old broken down Arvydas Sabonis was giving Shaq like prime Shaq problems.
Yeah,
and it's like I would have loved, like, obviously you can't do that because it's that's not how time works. But if Oscar Schmidt and Arvydas Sabonis had played in the NBA, how quickly this revolution of big men that can shoot would have happened. Because we had, I mean, it was all the way up until the mid 2010s that your big had to be cement footed in the paint, back to the basket, shimmy, turn around. Maybe you shoot it from 4 feet out. And now you got bigs that can actually shoot the ball. I mean, again, Victor Wembanyama is a damn cheat code. Being 7'5", can dribble the ball up the court with like great handles and just pull it for three like he's Steph Curry. Like big men doing that is insane. But that was what Sabonis and Oscar Schmidt were doing back in the day.
Yeah, and you said a name that people are going, who? Please, people, if you have 10 minutes in your lunchtime, look up Oscar Schmidt. This guy was a killer. I mean, in international basketball, and you could see what he did to other players. It was, the Brazilian, and everybody's going to say, Schmidt? Brazil? What?
You know what? You're right, Strilla. I was thinking about this the other day because I brought up the quadruple doubles with David Robinson and Hakeem Olajuwon, and I feel like both David Robinson and Hakeem Olajuwon don't get the love they deserve. The same thing with Patrick Ewing. Like, those dudes were great. Like and obviously, like me being a Spurs fan, I love me some David Robinson. But those three guys helped make basketball so much fun in the 90s. Like Hakeem Olajuwon, the Dream Shake, it was so unstoppable, man. And like, to me, he was kind of on that outer edge of like bigs who started shooting from the outside a little bit. Because as he got older, he started developing like that mid range shot. It wasn't a 3-pointer, but it was like that mid range shot. And whenever Hakeem started stroking that thing, it was unstoppable. Unstoppable.
You're using Bistrilla language. Please stop.
I do it on purpose. Come on, man. I mean, Augustine, you've never been able to stroke that thing?
Yeah, I don't know how to answer that one.
Hey, I mean, anytime I'm out there on the court, I'm always stroking that thing.
Good for you. That's just a tip. Anyway.
Oh no, it's more. It's much more. I mean, Augustine, you know it, man. I get the ball. I little step back, stroke that thing, ball's deep into the net.
With your knees, can you do a step back?
I can still. That's the one thing you know it, man. Anyone that's ever played basketball, if you're a shooter, the last thing that goes is that shot. That's the last thing that goes, and that's all I have now is my ability to shoot the damn ball.
Now you were numbering all your greatest of all time. Now with the little wrinkle that was said, would you put Hakeem in the top 10 or the top 15? And for me, Hakeem was probably the most underrated center we have ever. And that's funny to say, but we always
say he's a Hall of Fame center.
Yeah, we always say, of course, Shaq. We always say, all these other centers, and we always, for some reason, bypass Hakeem Olajuwon. We say Shaq, David Robinson, Patrick Ewing. We say all these guys, and we don't say Hakeem Olajuwon.
I mean, and that's the thing. Like Strilla brought it up earlier. Hakeem did lock up Shaq, but that was a really young Shaq in that NBA Finals. What was 1994 NBA Finals where the Rockets won their first NBA Final. It was that 1994 NBA Final.
That was
94. But that was like that was a seasoned, already one of the greatest of all time, Hakeem Olajuwon's versus a second-year player in Shaq. So, like, obviously he did his thing. You bring that up, would I put him in, like, my top 10? That means I'd have to get rid of either Jokic or Curry. And I just don't think I can do that. And I know, again, like, that's sacrilege to a lot of people, especially us looking at basketball from that time. I think what I want to do now is I'm going to spend some time and actually create, like, my top 10. I've never done a top 10 NBA list. So I think I'm going to create, like, my top 10 list, actually dive into it, compare stuff, remember what I know, and see what it is. Because I do feel like what the list that I came out with is a little flawed. I think I have some people flipped where I would want them in a different position. But it's just, like, off the top of my head, those would be, like, my top 10, not in any particular order.
Yeah, and I think, some Jokic is probably in there. I think you would keep Jokic in the top 10 because he's had this run, and I think you have to keep Curry in there. I really think
the way that Steph Curry changed basketball is the truth. Tommy hates me today, man. He said your list sucks, Mike.
Well, that's why he's saying
the fact that he's calling me by my first name and not just Tip. I know he's mad at me. Tommy, I apologize.
He's probably mad because you're actually watching soccer now.
Very, very little. Like, yes, I am watching our El Paso Locomotive, who are in town tomorrow. Come on out to Southwest University Park. Check out the El Paso Locomotive as they take on San Antonio FC. Still got some tickets out here, guys. You want to come out here. It's a fun time to watch these. You can hang out with the Eighth Notch. It's going to be a great experience. Come on out, Southwest University Park. Watch the El Paso Locomotive in action. They're still undefeated in league play. Yes, they just lost the other day to the Houston Dynamo. That's an MLS team that they were doing for the Lamar Hunt Open Cup. Look how much I'm learning about soccer, Augustine. Look at that.
Oh, Tommy was loving that.
your list sucks and soccer sucks too. Like he's just Tommy. I'm sorry. Okay, you know what? We're gonna placate to Tommy real quick. I'm gonna try to make Tommy happy. We're gonna put Dirk at number 10A.
10A.
Yes.
That sounds like the same as, okay, Dirk is 10.1.
Tommy is saying, Augustine, you don't suck, you blow.
Anyway.
Gonna have nightmares about that one.
Well, it's better than doing it like this. Anyway.
Tommy, you're not even a Mavericks fan anymore. Why are you so upset?
That's right. You said you weren't a Mavericks fan anymore.
Okay, so my top 10 list of Dallas Mavericks players. Dirk Nowitzki, obviously, right? We got to put Jason Kidd on there again. Steve Nash has got to be on there. And I think at number 4, we're going to put Anthony Davis ahead of Luka Doncic.
I would put in Adrian Dantley.
Oh, that's a good one too. Fat Lever.
Who?
You got to know who Fat Lever is.
No, I don't. Please fill me in.
Oh, Tommy, you're going to hate what autocorrect did to you. Dork is my Jesus. Oh, man. We all know what you're trying to say. We know you're trying to say Dirk. But the fact that it came out Dork.
I thought he was trying to say, Dork, the Dork is my Jesus.
No. That would be Dork is a doctor. Tommy, no, don't leave. Tommy, no. You know we love you, Tommy. We got nothing but love for you. Look at that. The heart's coming out of my screen and everything.
How did you do that?
I've got talent, man. That's what I do.
Well, I'm still asking, how did you do that? and I think we're opening Pandora's box, and I think this even people have
actually
been...
know what. To me, I think that's kind of fun to do though, right? So I really want to make because I've always wanted to do this. I think that now I might actually do it, like a top 10 list of all the players for every team. So basketball, baseball, football, all of it.
My question to you, Tip, is the following. I know we said top 10 players of NBA. You ranked your top 10, and you said you're going to revise that a little. My question is, what era are you talking about? I mean,
it's got to be the whole thing.
The whole thing. I mean, somebody that you could put in the 80s and 90s where there was actual defense being played.
I think it would be, and that might be the thing that knocks Jokic off the list if there's defense being played. But I think it makes it so much easier if you just break it up by generation, right? Like you can say, okay, well, Steph's the greatest of this generation. Sure, you got LeBron there, but that's literally your only debate is going to be between Steph and LeBron, right?
Yeah.
And then this more recent generation, and how do you differentiate between the generations? Like what causes a generational difference? Because if you say, well, I only want players from the 80s, well, Jordan's still really damn good in the 80s, great in the 90s, but still really damn good in the 80s.
Yeah, in the 80s, he was this kid that had unfathomable energy, and the thing is, that team was led by Doug Collins, and he was actually playing by himself.
I think my favorite quote of all time from Michael Jordan was whenever he was coming back from that foot injury that he had in his second season. A lot of people forget that he missed basically his entire second season. He only played 15 games, but he's coming back from that foot injury. He's trying to get out on the court and stuff, and the doctor's like, well, there's a 10% chance that if you do it too soon that you're going to break the foot and you'll never be able to play basketball again. It'll be a really bad thing. And Jordan's like, well, I'm still going to risk it. Well, the doctor's like, okay, well, let me tell you something else. If you have a headache and I give you a bottle of pills and I say 9 of these pills are perfect for the headache, but 1 in there might kill you, are you still going to take the pills? And Jordan says it depends on how fucking bad the headache is.
Yeah.
He's a monster.
Yeah, narcissistic monster. Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me.
Oh, wow. No, you too. Don't worry. This all boils down to Tipton.
Yes.
To
Me and
the
Jordan
guy,
share a birthday. We're the same guy.
to the guy that used to work for Telemundo. But anyway, I remember that. But anyway,
Who
we won't
doesn't?
talk about that. But yeah, you need to be a little bit self-serving if you get to that point. You know, even playing in the NBA, you need to be a little bit self-serving. You
I
need
mean,
to,
it takes a different mindset to be successful at sports that way,
yeah. You need
and
to
to be
make
one
them.
of the greatest of all time. Like you
Yeah,
have to have that mindset. That's why to me, Kobe. Uh, I think you, me, Tommy, so far. I don't know who Strilla would put in there, but like the three of us did have Kobe and Jordan on this list. Like I put LeBron on there as well, but I think it's like a unanimous like Jordan and Kobe just because of that killer mindset that they had.
yeah. That when one of my favorite clips that I still watch over and over is when Jimmy Kimmel was asking Kobe if what would have happened if when the Lakers guys are celebrating, like they were like 15 and 50. They were all celebrating a win, and then Jimmy Kimmel goes, what would you do, or something that would you be in celebrating just the look alone? I think you've seen that clip. I don't know if you have, where
Mhm.
I mean, the look is just ooh. Ah,
Like, oh, you wouldn't celebrate a regular season win? He's like, no.
I mean, no, he didn't even have to say no.
Mhm.
He just the look just said the whole thing, and that's the thing,
100%.
and that's the thing with those kinds of people. And wow, basketball needs somebody like that.
Wemby.
Basketball needs somebody like that.
Oh, you must not have been watching San Antonio stuff. You've got to see Wemby does not. Wemby is holding a grudge against Chet Holmgren from whenever they were 16 years old.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. But that's against
Yeah.
one player.
No, it's against the entire. Like he was mad at the All-Star game whenever they took him out because he wanted to play minutes. Like he's going to be one of those guys that helps bring us back to like that freakish. Just I hate losing. I want to be super competitive. He's going to be one of those guys that does it. I can't wait to see who like the next group of players are that comes in with that same mindset that he has.
Is there anybody coming up with that same mindset?
I mean, I feel like there has to be, right? Like we've got to get somebody soon. So I'm hoping that there is. It can't, and even so, even if it's just him, that's so much better than what we've had recently.
Yeah, and a player that I thought that had that mindset, who's a freakish talent, is Zion Williamson, but he doesn't have that mindset. He's just a freakish talent. But
Well, he's hurt so much.
yeah, that weight can't be helping. If he would drop 20 pounds, and
He'd be unstoppable. Unstoppable.
he'd be completely and utterly unstoppable.
He's on my list. He's on my like what if list. Like I hate that, but like, oh man, he has so much talent. Like if he had just took care of himself.
A player on my list, and you're probably not going to remember him, Drazen Petrovic. If he didn't,
Yeah. Oh, if he
Drazen
didn't die in that
Petrovic,
car accident, yeah.
if he didn't have that car accident, Drazen Petrovic, I think he would have been a killer. He was a killer already. He had that mindset of, give me the ball. Ooh, you
The
heard
way it
something.
should be.
You heard
I did.
something.
Well, I mean, it's closer to 9 o'clock, so I'm expecting people to come in.
Hopefully.
But it is what it is. Hopefully, I mean, if not, it's a ghost. Everywhere I go, the ghosts follow me everywhere I go. All right, Augustine. I appreciate you joining on. Look, it's been a great week coming back. You guys have no idea how excited I am that we were able to do it. We'll be back next week. Tomorrow, we do have Fire and Ice at Buffalo Wild Wings, so I'm looking forward to that as well.
Finally.
Yeah, tell me about it, man. Tell me about it. But Augustine, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, everybody.